Goat Lovers, Crystal here with Blue Cactus Dairy Goats. And we have had a very, very busy day, a very busy few days. I am so exhausted. So I'm going to do my best to tell you what happened today with the births. This is Shilly here. She was doe number 1 this morning. We thought we had some time. We were doing other things and, you know, just keeping an eye on her back and forth. And then we came out and it was like, oh gosh, it's go time. And she just had a hoof out. And I was like, gosh dang it, just a hoof out again. So then she was pushing and pushing and a bubble came out. And it was like, okay, this is 2 kids. It was obvious that 2 kids were trying to come out at this point. So, poor Shilly, excuse me, I had to push the kids back in so that I could like get one pushed back further so at least one was coming out. And they were definitely, I guess it was a race to see who could come out first. I don't know if you guys see this little one here. They're big kids, big healthy kids, which is always awesome to see. And you did good, huh, Mama? But this little guy came out first. So he's not blue-eyed, and they are bred to Merle, right? I'm so lost at this point, you guys. She was bred to Merle. Yes, okay, Merle. So there's potential for blue-eyed and polled. But she gave her gold eyes to both of them. They'll both have her gold eyes. And the little doe here. So she did, this one came out second, and she is a little doe, and she is polled. So I keep guessing, because sometimes I have to keep checking, because that's the best way to check, is like as soon as they're born, the skin moves where the horns would be. And if you wait too long, even a week after, it might not move just because they're getting those little mounds and there's just not a lot of movement. It's hard to tell. But anyway, a horned boy and a polled little doe. So she did good, even though I had to push the kids back out. It wasn't the ideal perfect starting to the first kidding of the day, considering I knew I had several does in labor, but they're doing really good, and they're really, really beautiful, and they're super healthy. And we heard this guy in here acting like a buck already. Like, blah, 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 blah. Weren't you? So, he should be a good herd sire. You'll know how to do your job, won't you? Yes, you will. You're just too cute. All right. All right, let's go on to the next doe that delivered today. All right, Miss Mayo here, I was pretty sure only had 2. She was next. So we got done with Shilly just in time because, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes later, this girl started having her babies. Huh. And she did really good. She always does. But I can't recall. They're all blending in together, to be quite honest. But I know she needed a little assistance with them. They seemed like really big kids, and they were, all things considered, especially for the first one coming out. They're not giant by any means, but a little bit. And I think this girl had her leg back, if I recall. And so I just had to help her out a little. I didn't have to go in or nothing, but she did need a little coursing, huh? A little help while Miss Mayo was pushing. You sweet girl. So she is blue-eyed and polled, and I just think she is the sweetest little thing. I don't know how I'm going to get rid of her. She might be put on the back burner in case I want to retain her. I don't know. And she's just so calm and sweet. She's going to scream because I said that, aren't you? No? She's a doll, baby. I love you. So she was the first. Here you go, Mama. And then come out this one, who is quite a bit bigger than number 1 there. And she is brown-eyed, and she is also polled. She's a little dark buckskin, and she needed a little assistance getting her out too. If I recall, she had just the one hoof out and 1 leg back. That's the theme this year, isn't it, girl? Or folded up all crazy like. One or the other, right? Yeah. Let me get that straw out of your eye. There you go. All right, so she's precious. They're just gorgeous little kids. And then this was the 3rd one. He was big, and she knew it. He is pretty cool. This is the little boy. Everest is the dad, And I've never seen, like, look at the super light colored cape here. Like, this is a buckskin, but it's almost like the opposite type of buckskin. He's light in his cape area and dark in the back. Yeah, he looks like his daddy, except for he doesn't have blue eyes, but he is a hoss little boy. So, super wide, super hoss. He's fine, Mama, I promise. And all are doing really well, including Miss Mayo here. So yeah, that was birth number 2. I want to say that was probably around noon or something. So let's go to birth number 3. Alright, so labor number 3 today was Miss Val. She was kind of an odd labor. She was up and down and up and down and up and down, and every time we thought she was going to push, she had slime for quite a while, but no pushing. Forever she didn't push. Sorry about the noise back there, guys. They know it's feeding time, so they're a little rambunctious about it. Plus, they've been getting milked, so they know they're going to get on the stand. If you guys have milkers, they're loud when they know they're going to get on the stand and get their grain. So anyway, come here, buddy. With Val, again, she was up and down and up and down, and she's eating her placenta, if you guys can see that. I'm sorry about that. It's real. It's something. And she can have those extra vitamins. Oh, Val. Oh, Val.
We're not showing that.
With her labor, she didn't look like she was in distress at all. It was just like kind of getting hard contractions and so forth. Up and down and bedding. There's so much dust in here. She just was kicking up dust. I thought she was going to dig to China. It was crazy. But then one doe, I don't know if it was a doe or a buck, I didn't see. One kid popped out. It was a white and gold one, and I was just trying to get the face cleaned off as quick as I could. And then another one popped out right afterwards, and it was this tiny, tiny little guy who is not doing very well. He still has not stood up on his feet, so you see him. He's just not real strong. He's getting there. He's definitely getting there. And he's eaten. I've held him on Val. Val has let him feed, let me help him eat. But it's like he's just, I don't know if he was lacking in oxygen or what, but either way, the both of them pretty much came out at the same time, and I was just trying to get both of them their faces clean. And he's doing good. Oh, sweetheart. Well, that's the first time I've seen him up, and it's been over an hour, maybe even close to 2 at this point. So, oh my gosh, you sweetheart. So the first one that had came out was big like this one back here. Just not breathing. I could feel the lungs, like right here, the chest was just caved in, like it did not get any. It wasn't breathing. It wasn't trying to get any air whatsoever, and I was just trying to get it, and then I was, I kind of grabbed it by the legs and throwing up, and it just kept coming out. And then I felt a heartbeat, so then I moved out from under here and tried again, and it just didn't stop coming out. And it was at that point, it sucks, but it was at that point I realized he or she had already lost the umbilical cord inside of her and just ingested and sucked in too much of the amniotic fluid. So I don't know that I would have been able. She's got red lipstick on now. I don't know that I would have been able to save that kid, but I sure as heck tried, and it's still, oh my gosh, a bummer. That's 2 this year. That sucks. So anyway, this little dude was out second, and I think maybe he is really, really tiny, but I think maybe he's just kind of weaker. Maybe he was lacking in oxygen for a little bit as well. I don't know. Or he's just a dinky and should not have necessarily been born just yet. And it worries me, it bothers me, because she pulled this kind of thing last year. Not quite as bad. Or I mean, last year wasn't quite as I am so tired, you guys. Last year was worse than this year, by all means, but I just don't know. So the first kid she had last year was just like this little guy. Kind of weak. Maybe, yeah, it was probably smaller. Definitely smaller, but I don't know. And then the third kid was this little dude here that apparently just loves me. And he is the coolest looking thing. Can I see you? Can I say hello? He's doing really good. He's a super small guy. Yeah, but he's doing really good. He's got moon spots all over his black coat there. How pretty is that? I don't know if you guys can see him real well here, but adorable. And he is super strong. He was up on his own eating and everything. So he found the tea, all that. He's good to go. He is awful small though. But even look at this guy here. When I set him down, like he just doesn't have the energy. Like he doesn't want to strive to get up like most, you know, most goats do right after birth. And then this big beast, if you guys see the size difference, he was number 3. Now, she was acting like she was done after the first 3. You know, the first one didn't survive, obviously, and then this guy, and then that guy. And she was acting like she was done. I gave her some time, and then I bumped her and felt, and I was like, man, I feel something hard in there. That's not like a placenta bumping back. It feels like a bone. So I actually did go in a little, and I felt a head or something, and I was like, what the heck? Okay, there's a kid in there. So I'll give her some time. She didn't pass the kid. She wasn't doing anything. And I was like, well, I have to go in and see. So then when I went in, I couldn't find anything. It was like all placenta or something, and I was like, gosh, maybe I'm wrong. And then I felt underneath on her belly again, and I was like, that's a kid. It's definitely a kid. So what I did was just try to get her to have contractions, just going in a little bit. I didn't go in, but just a little bit sends her into contractions, so she tried to push it up, and she did. So with that, she pushed this big old boy out, and he's a boy. So she has 3 bucks right here. And this is the blue-eyed buck. And these, yeah, you're the strongest, we know. And these are legend kids. So these are his first kids, and he gave all boys. Again, I don't know if that one that didn't make it was a doe or not, but these boys here that are surviving, so far, Legend has 3 boys on the ground, so Vader is beating him. His first kids were 3 does. But anyway, that's the story there, guys. There's no way I'm leaving these kids on Val. She's kind of just been kicking at him and I don't know. She's just, she hasn't been acting right, to be honest, and I just feel like she could potentially hurt them. And this one, she hasn't shown any. She licked him off a little bit right after he was born. Oh, look, she's showing a little now. But I had to help her clean them. And now it's pretty much since after they were born and she cleaned them off, she really hasn't shown a lot of affection or care for them. So I've had to hold them onto the teats to make sure they got enough colostrum and so forth. But anyway, you can get up. Anyway, these little kids are going to be separated. In fact, we're going to separate all of them. We do need these stalls. And so these little ones, the new ones, are going to go in the house. And I will be bottle feeding them probably a couple times throughout the night. And then in the morning, we'll see just how they're doing and maybe let them play outside with the rest of the kids. Potentially. They might stay in the house for a day or two just to see how they do. And it always helps as well, just not having them hear their moms and so forth. So, I don't know. It's been a really crazy day, guys. I still have 1 to 2 more does in labor. Maddie is in labor right now. I still have to go milk and everything else. So I gotta wrap this one up. I just wanted to let you guys know how all of that has gone so far for the day. It's gonna be a super late night still because we got Maddie for sure, and Tanzi. She's just trying to. She's suspicious, that's for sure. But I don't feel any ligaments on her, so might have 2 more labors tonight. But anyway, we'll see you guys again soon.